Welcome folks, this is your host of FBC Virtual, Mike Pugh, and I'm bringing y'all guys an Elite Visitors Special. This is a tutorial for those who want to learn how to utilize Wikipedia's images. This is really cool. What I'm doing right now, I'm working on an article to actually bring out my scientific side and my belief system, sort of speak, in terms of how I perceive creation, what the creation is, how creation started, things of that nature. Everyone has their own perspective on it and their own belief. Now, I needed to have a really good image to bring out that message. So I decided to go to Wikipedia to find some images off of the keyword known as nebula. So I'll go all the way back so y'all guys can see how I got to this. Some people may not use Wikipedia, not sure, but I love Wikipedia as a reference. Now, before you choose to actually utilize anything in terms of an image online, make sure that you can clear the rights to it. And what I mean by that is the copyright status. Check to see on the screen, anywhere on the screen, about the copyright status. So that way you don't have any questions as to if you're using this thing legally or not. So over here on this screen, you're going to see there's different information that was provided. It says portion of the Carina Nebula. Okay, so this information was inputted by NASA. It says right here NASA, ESA, and the Hubble SM4ERO team. And there's a link right here to NASA. I'm sure this is from NASA. This is the HubbleSite.org. So all this information they chose to put as a description of the actual photo's image. And then towards the right it says public domain. So what is the public domain? Basically, the public domain means that there's no copyright to this actual image. It's released into the public domain for people to utilize for free for commercial purposes. And if you want to go further into this actual license, you're going to click this link and it'll take you to more than likely the CC01.0 license, which is a Creative Commons license. We'll see. Let's do that. So this brings us to an additional page on Wikipedia. You're going to scroll down and you're going to look for that public domain license. And this is it here. It says this file is in the public domain because it was solely created by NASA. NASA copyright policy states that NASA material is not protected by copyright unless noted. So as you can see, it tells you in clear ink online on the screen that there's no copyright in regards to this particular image, as well as to most of the images they choose to upload unless they stated that that has a copyright status. Alright, so you gotta look for all this information when you're on Wikipedia. You're gonna click certain links to get to the actual reference information and details that states whether there's a copyright status, whether it has a Creative Commons copyright status, or it has a public domain, or if it's just straight up officially copyright by whoever party, whoever owner submitted that wherever they chose to do that online. Okay? So these are the things that people should understand prior to going anywhere online and picking up any kind of image to upload to any of their locations. So we're going to go to Google and I'm going to show you how I got to Nebula on Wikipedia. You can also type wikipedia.com on the web browser on the top in your web browser's address bar. So I'm going to go search in Google. Some people may not do that. I'm not sure how they do in terms of what they do to reference things online. So I usually start from scratch so I can show you everything. So I clicked here, Nebula. It says Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. And Wikimedia is also a location known to actually have really great images. So you can go to wikimedia.com besides just Wikipedia. But for now, we'll just go to Wikipedia and see where I got the actual image, and it brings you back to the reference of that keyword. I'll get to keywords and stuff in the future, but I'm not doing an SEO tutorial. I'm just showing people how to grab content that is legally useful for your actual articles. So that way it brings much more relevance to your articles and it looks a lot more appealing. As you can see the screen here for Nebula, the way that they authored and they decided to put this content onto the screen will bring you to the imagery. They lay out the text, they bring the imagery to the side of the text, and then they give you link references to navigate across the page or internal to other locations on Wikipedia. So that's basically how it works, but like I said, I'm not doing a tutorial for SEO, but I'm doing more of a tutorial for y'all guys to understand how to get to these images that you really believe are going to work for you. So you click the image and it brings you to this location that I started out at. Now say you wanted to download this. It's really good to download things that you're choosing to use for your articles, blogs, or videos. And the reason being is that it shows that you actually extracted that content and you did it in a legal manner. You put it on your desktop, and that gives you also a historical archive. Say you wanted to use this image again in the future, you can use that image again, and it's definitely going to benefit you in other ways when you're using that same content. So you're going to click here, there's a link right here that says download. You can also click here, this says to share or embed. If you had a website or a blog site, you can find the embed code through that link right there, which is more like a curved link. The other link is a straight down arrow. So let's click that. It says download this file, and then you're going to choose what size. If you just click this, it's going to give you a 2439 by 2908 px. This is a JPEG file type of an image. So these are the things that you have to realize before you choose to download. When you download it, you're going to get a really large image pretty much. So let's click the down arrow and you can go for smaller sizes. As you can see, it says small, medium, and large. So I'm going to go for the large one. It's a 755 by 900 px. So that's basically your pixel dimension size. Now I'm going to click download large size, this green button, and that's going to open up my desktop for me to put it in an archive that I have. So this is all of the Wikipedia Commons or Wikimedia Commons images I chose to actually grab throughout the lifetime of me utilizing Wikipedia. And this is the archive of also a record for me to know all of the legal images I chose to use, most of them under the Creative Commons license. So let's click save. Once you save that, it goes to your actual file location, and there's a folder location within your desktop or laptop. So you're going to have to find that in the future in order to utilize that actual image. So let's go to my edit where I actually done it already. So this is the upload location. There's another way to do it. You can also use insert from URL. So I wanted to showcase differing ways that you can actually upload the image. You don't even have to save it onto your desktop or your laptop file folders. You don't have to do that, but I chose to do it because I want to use it as a historical reference. This is another way to do it, and the way this one is done, let's go back to Wikipedia. What you're going to do, you're going to actually click on the image itself. When you're on this location where it has the public domain license link, we're going to click this and it'll take you to the actual images location on their not hard drive, but on their computing server, on their network and their server. This takes you to the actual physical location on their server for the image, not for the image page with the relatable references. Not to this page. It takes you to the actual file location for that image where they uploaded that file. And what that does, it allows you to put this information here as a link. So you just basically copy and paste That's the only legitimate way to copy and paste an image, if it has an insert from URL location. But you still are committed to having to put the caption into it. So with a public domain license, that means that you have to verify. Let's go verify that license once more. We're going to go deeper into that license to find out if it's in the Creative Commons. And in the Creative Commons, it will tell you what to do, what you have to do. So we're going to click this public domain link here. Okay, so it didn't take me to the Creative Commons. There gotta be a link to the Creative Commons. If it's not, then you just use this as your reference and you're fine. You can do that. 9 times out of 10 there's a Creative Commons licensed link to take you there. So I'll show y'all guys that another time. I haven't found it on the screen. So once you exhausted all your resources and you got to at least this point on Wikipedia, you're fine. This one is actually Wikimedia Commons. Like I said, there's a Wikimedia and a Wikipedia. So this is the actual Wikimedia Commons and this is the licensing details. So that should be fine. I can actually show y'all guys a CC0 1.0 license. Let's do that real quick. CC0, just to give you reference, 1.0. Alright, just to give you reference to how these for the public domain, even though it's not on Wikimedia. So here we go. CC0 1.0 universal, CC0 1.0 public dedication or public domain dedication, no copyright. So it says the person who associated a work with this deed has dedicated the work to the public domain by waiving all of his or her rights to the worldwide under copyright law, including all related and neighboring rights to the extent allowed by law. You can copy, modify, distribute, and perform the work, even for commercial purposes, all without asking permission. See other information below. So that part about asking permission, see, when you're utilizing content online, if it's not yours and you don't own it outright, you have to get permission for it. And you have to get a legal license for it if that permission isn't put in writing, maybe through a blog inbox. Say you went to somebody's blog location and you chose to ask them for their actual image. Well, make sure that they email it to you. They give you the rights through an email. So you have proof on your side if you have to present that, maybe on YouTube, maybe on eBlogger or Blogspot. That's the same place for Google's blogs. Or maybe it's on Elite Visitors, or it's on Hub Pages or Bubbaloo, or wherever the case may be. You can end up being, taken to court for the fact of you breaking and breaching somebody's copyright status. You can get your account banned if you're on TSU or anywhere on the social web, no matter where you're at. So these are the things you got to realize. Public domain means that you're free from copyright, but you also got to look for licensing, so that way you know what they're telling you that you can do. For this particular one, this is a CC0 1.0. It works for Pixabay.com. On Pixabay.com, there's a Shutterstock ad sponsored images. Don't use Shutterstock. I talked about that many times in other tutorial type videos, but I just want you to understand that. Now, in terms of giving credit back to Wikimedia, I'm going to put Wikimedia.com. That's simple, and it has a link to it already up here. So I shouldn't have to do too much else since it's in the public domain. So we're going to put insert into post. Now that information, see, look, this looks really beautiful. That information goes in, and I put it in there because not just for giving credit, but also I want the owners of Elite Visitors, which is the location I'm doing this tutorial for, I want them to know where I got this content from. So that way it frees me up from them having issues with me. And if anything comes about, they know that's where it's from. So that's how it works. And I'm done with this tutorial. Hopefully y'all guys learned something, you know, how things work a little bit when it comes to public domain and when it comes to using content that's not your own. I'm going to do some tutorials on the Creative Commons a little bit more. I always try to dig into that stuff, the meat and potatoes of the Creative Commons. Creative Commons basically frees you up from copyright issues based on the legally applicable licensing, just like you've seen from the CC0 1.0. And when you learn all of this stuff, it empowers you to be much more, how would you say, you have a greater deal of leverage online when it comes to creating really unique YouTube videos. A great example would be, there's a channel known as Vsauce. I don't know if y'all guys know Vsauce, but what he does, he frees up copyright issues all across the web through blogs, through website owners, through using the Creative Commons, using Wikipedia, using anything that he can reference. And he utilizes his knowledge, what he already has, his gift of gab, his ability to speak expressively and put that stuff out there onto the screen. And anybody can do this. If you go to college, you go to high school, whatever knowledge you have, you can take your knowledge and infuse it into your research and your ability to put and project that information in really unique ways. So that particular person, Michael from Vsauce, he really does make his content stand out. His content meaning what he chooses to offer up onto the screen into his videos. So if y'all guys can learn from anything that he does, it will help you to be able to bring and merge what I'm trying to show y'all guys onto your platforms, whatever you choose to offer up. If you're going with TSU, say you're on TSU, the new social network that pays 90% ad revenue, say you're on that and you want to help people, well, you need content. You need great quality, high quality content. So are you the photographer type? Are you the graphics designer, the editor type? All those things? Maybe not. So if you're not that type, you have to have this knowledge in order to find content that you don't own, because you may not be out there in the great places that you're, you know, communicating about. Maybe you referenced and found information about the solar system. You want to help people learn about the solar system. Well, if you don't understand this stuff and you take content from the wrong place, you're going to end up with copyright issues and lose that right to have a networking location on TSU. That's a great example. Maybe on Eevee, on Elite Visitors, you post up content and then next thing you know, you find out that you got an email in your inbox that's stating you put up the wrong thing. You don't have the rights to this. So people are trying to alert you to know, look, you're doing the wrong things because you have a Shutterstock image. It has a watermark in it with a big X. So these are the things that people don't understand. I understand it because I've been doing it for over 6 years. So experience definitely will take you a longer way, will help you go further. Some people might not even want to watch this video. It's going into 20 minutes, but it has a lot of information that y'all guys really can benefit from. So do you want to go keep watching the same funny, crazy, out of control videos and not realize what you should do in order for you to benefit off the social web? I think you should maybe take a break from those things and give it a chance to learn something from people that really understand and really know what's going on behind the screen. The people who really know how to input the information so that it frees you up from copyright issues. This is for all YouTubers. This is for everybody on the internet, on the social web, all across the whole entire planet. If y'all guys don't realize this stuff, it's because you haven't taken the right procedures, the right steps, the right preventative measures. You haven't dug deep into the information. You didn't research. You didn't click the right links, whatever the case may be. Somebody didn't help you, or you didn't take advice from other people. This is the stuff that the whole of the social web needs to know. This is the stuff that the internet is governed by. There's the copyright laws, and then there's what is known as the DMCA, which is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It's hard to pronounce the acronym straight out, but that's the stuff that exists. People will end up getting what is known as a DMCA takedown if, and it's an actual notice. A DMCA takedown notice you will end up getting that on your website, your blog site, or whatever the case may be, if you don't actually take care of that site and you allow content to be loaded up to it either by your community members or maybe you've done it yourself. You'll get a DMCA strike to have your content, that content taken down if you're doing it the wrong way. So this is the stuff that helps people to understand, and that's why I come up with videos that are at least 15-20 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes long, because y'all guys need to be empowered. I don't know how long I'm going to be on the earth, how long I'm going to be surviving, but humanity needs to know this stuff, because the online world is not going to stop. It's going to keep going mobile and smaller and faster. And how are y'all guys going to coexist or exist within this online world that now is merging the financial district and merging businesses, individuals into the whole thing, brands, all kinds of stuff that's happening. So y'all guys got to realize that this is what's happening, and this is what's going on. If you don't realize it, it's because y'all guys don't know this stuff. So thanks a lot, folks. Hit the thumbs up if you all really did like this video. Share it socially if you feel that it benefits other people across the social web. Don't worry about how long it takes to watch. It's the message that's coming across on the screen and what you're actually learning. If you're learning something, it's beneficial. It's going to help your family members. It's going to help many people across the planet once you start to reference this information and start to work with it with your blogs, your videos, your content, your websites, your businesses, your groups of people, your communities. Each one teach one, and you push that information on, and you keep trying to help more people to realize and uncover the truth as opposed to what's not the truth. And that's all I got. Check in and tune in next time. Mike Pugh signing off, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. And sometimes, give people a break. You don't have to judge the way a person looks either. Some people do that. They look at eye candy and they only go with eye candy online, and they only share that stuff. But that's limiting the full potential for humanity to reach other levels. Everyone across the planet can reach other levels if you are not being discriminate and being more fair. So there you go with that, and that's all I got. Peace.